Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we've got a Prince of Swords. To me, this feels like somebody might be on the fence about something, right? We're almost feeling like we have to pick a side about something. I feel as if you don't like getting caught in the middle of other people's drama. You don't like being put on the spot. I don't feel like you want to pick sides. You don't want to be put in that position. And I think that it's very irritating when something is going on where you kind of feel like you are in the middle of that. Okay? I think you're somebody that kind of likes to do their own thing, focus on their own life, their own family, and do what they need to do. You don't want to be caught in the middle of drama. It doesn't seem like there's any choice for you right now that actually is going to lead to a positive outcome, you know? Either side of the fence that you land on, there's going to be issues. So it kind of feels like you're wanting to withdraw from some kind of a situation where it feels like kind of a zero-sum game for you. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what's going on here. We have, we've got the Six of Wands. Maybe there is a way for you to get through this, with some benefit to you. Okay? But let's keep going. Let's see what else we have here. We have a Ten of Wands. So Six of Wands, Ten of Wands. We've got the Universe card. We have the Lust or Strength card at the top. And we've got the Scorpio Superpower card in the future position. So this is a situation that, if nothing else, is teaching you a lot about yourself. Okay? Here we have that Libra energy. So yes, it feels like you're kind of the mediator. It feels like you are the arbitrator, or whatever they call it. You're the one that seems to be in the middle of something, having to sort of, I don't know if you're being tasked with making a decision or choosing something over something else. So it feels like whatever you do, someone's going to be upset with you, right? You're kind of having to judge it almost feels like there's a mock trial going on or something. Maybe you're on jury duty. I don't know what it is. We got a Five of Swords. We have a Princess of Swords. But we have the Eight of Pentacles. I do feel like there is going to be a good outcome here. Okay? I kind of feel like this is like where you kind of have to make a decision. I don't think you can stay on the fence forever. I think that whatever decision you make, as long as you are making it with confidence and with self-awareness, doesn't really matter if you're right or wrong. Ultimately, right? Because this is you choosing based on the information that you have, which I feel is incomplete. Okay? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with our little sea turtle friend right on top. We are not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. I want to peek at this bottom card. See, it's the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is kind of what we don't want, right? I've been looking at the bottom of the mystery card stack for a while. At least we know that's not going to be the mystery card, but this is kind of the furthest thing from our energy right now. This is kind of this is what we don't want. We don't want to be so tied up in the facts. We don't want to be so tied up in the details that we cannot make a decision. I think this is a matter of you trusting in the information that you have and making the decision that feels the best for you. feels the best in this situation. I don't know who else is involved. We do have a lot of court cards. But if you have a prediction for the mystery card, put it in the comments as usual. We're going to look around the room and see 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana energies. We see fire. We don't see any water right now. We see the air, the air, the air, and a little bit of earth. Okay? Why is there no water? Well, because you're not making a judgment based on your emotions. You're trying to use the facts, right? We're trying to be responsible here and sort of do the right thing, whatever we might feel that is. And I guess kind of using that term feel like it is. What do we feel is the right thing to do? When we're trying to sort of be objective, right? We're trying to use this Libra energy, this justice card. We're trying to do the right thing, trying to make the right decision. It feels like it kind of feels like there are a few other people involved here. It feels like there's some kind of a situation that you're having to get in the middle of it. Maybe I don't know, two people are fighting or two people are having an argument, and you have to get in the middle and sort of pick a side or make a final judgment on something. Okay, and we're trying to do so in a fair way. We're looking for a way to benefit everybody. We want this to be a win-win-win kind of situation. You don't want to feel like you're making enemies, right? So we have our 6 of Wands here. You don't want to feel like you're making enemies, and you also want to you want both sides to feel like they're getting what they want. Maybe this is maybe it's a family dispute. Maybe it's some kind of conflict over an estate or some kind of money or finances or something. I kind of feel that there's money involved here. But you're trying to find a solution that will benefit everybody. Okay, we got our 6 of Wands here. 6 of Wands is a victory. I think the victory for you is to feel like you're walking away from this thinking like, all right, I did good. Like I made a decision, and it's hopefully going to work out the best. We can't predict the future, but we're happy that we at least were able to do it. Maybe this is jury duty, and maybe it's kind of like nobody really likes jury duty, but it's our duty, right? At least in the U.S. where I'm located. It's something that we feel obligated toward, but we would rather not be there. But we're here, and we're going to do the very best thing that we can with the limited information that we have. So we have our fixed air energy. You're trying to be unbiased. You're trying to go into this situation not already having your mind made up. Okay, so we're kind of like, I'm on the fence. I'm equal sides. I'm equal, in both camps right now until I get more information, until I hear the arguments, And we have arguments because we have a 5 of Swords in the environment. So we're definitely seeing, we're definitely getting both sides of the story here. Okay, this could be something to do with friends too. It could be something at work. I don't know for sure. The 10 of Wands under the surface, for some reason, this feels like this is your responsibility. It feels like it's your duty. It feels like for some reason, nobody else can make this decision but you. Maybe it's maybe you're a business owner. Maybe this doesn't have so much to do with resolving a dispute between people. Maybe this is kind of a decision about, do I turn left or turn right in my life right now? Okay. I do feel like there are other people affected by your decision. You feel the heavy weight on your shoulders. It could be that you're trying to resolve a dispute between, your employees, or between your parents, or we feel like we're getting caught in the middle of something. We really don't want to be there, but it's kind of like two people asking you, like, okay, who's right? And you're just like, why is this on me? Why do I have to get caught in the middle of this? But it feels like you've tried to kind of avoid the problem for a long time. We have the universe card in the background in sort of yesterday's energy, in the past. I feel like this is a question, or this is an issue that has been brought up before, and it might, I don't know if it's a legal matter or if it's some kind of, I don't know what it is. It's something that feels kind of official. But it feels like it's not the first time that you've been in this position. And I think maybe we've kind of avoided it before. You know, the way you hear stories of people, and I never do this, I'm sure you never do it either, but avoiding the, the duty of serving on a jury, right? We don't avoid that, but it does feel like this is a question that has appeared in your life very often. Sometimes this card is literally saying there's some question out there. And maybe it's a question of direction, it's a question of property, maybe it has to do with money or finances or an estate. But it's not the first time that this issue's been brought up for you. And I don't know why the decision wasn't made before. It could be that we've postponed it. And now, guess what? Here it is again. So there's something unresolved regarding either a family home or an estate or business assets or something along those lines, right? And for some reason, it falls on your shoulders to make the decision. Yeah. The lust or strength card here at the top, this is the courage that you need to summon. Spirit's trying to send this energy your way and saying, you know what, there really isn't a right answer here. There really isn't anything that's going to surely and definitively please everybody. We're going to need some courage. We're going to need a little bit of bravery here. To do what we believe to be the right thing, come what may. Okay? I think that if we didn't see the Eight of Pentacles back here, this would say, look, we don't know the future, but we do know that we're putting an end to this situation because I can't keep postponing it. You know, that we hit the snooze button on it, and then guess what? 6 months later, there's another letter in the mail. So we're putting an end to it now. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get it over with, and it'll be out of my life, and I'll feel so much relief. I got to just have that courage to just go through with it, do it, to make the decision, to pick the side, to pick, maybe it's not anything so serious, right? But we need that courage to deal with the possibility that someone's going to be upset with us. Okay? This is a card of feeling like we're capable of doing it. See, this is the weight on your shoulders, the responsibility. This is your ability to handle that responsibility. Okay? Now, the death card in the future position, this is your superpower card. Okay? So it is, it's both a particular a particular phase of your own spiritual development going through this situation, okay? It's sort of putting you more in touch with your own energies, and it's allowing you to work some things out in the spiritual realm. But it's also a card that's saying, this ends now. There's going to be a conclusion here. This whole issue is going to be resolved. And maybe, as reluctant as you are, you're the one that's saying, look, everybody sit down. We're going to figure this out now because I'm tired of it. I am done. This Ten of Wands, right, says we're kind of over, we're exhausted by this. You know, we'd rather take care of it now than have to hit the snooze button on it again and then go through this entire process in a month or 3 months or 6 months. It's like, let's just figure it out now. Because I don't want to live with that stress, that, to feel like I'm always on edge, because I know it's coming in the future again. We may buy ourselves a week or 2 or 3, but we know it's coming again. So we are choosing, I feel like that's kind of the choice you're making, is that we're going to sit down, we're going to figure it out right now. I feel like you're taking charge here. I feel like you're saying enough is enough. I'm not going to go through this again. Let's sit down and get it done. Right? So we have that death card, which to me feels like a freedom. It feels like we are releasing something big time, There's something it's coming to an end. Okay? And it is a decision that you're making to end something. I think to end the delay, to end the issue, to dead the issue. But I don't know yet if this is actually you deciding to end something in particular. Does that make sense? Especially when we're talking about the Libra energy, the Justice card, this official contractual thing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this is you making the decision to sort of terminate your employment or end a relationship, end a marriage, right? To sever ties with someone, because this is a card of professional relationships, a legally binding thing. Maybe this is you letting somebody out of a contract, terminating somebody's employment, right? Something along those lines. Because it feels like there's no love here anymore. There's no water energy. So if this is a marriage, it certainly doesn't look like one any longer, right? By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free, okay? This is us trying to do the right thing and be objective. Like I said, we're trying to weigh all of the options. And, well, the Eight of Swords, if we weigh the options too much, we're just going to be tangled up in a web of thoughts and facts and a complexity that we'll never get out of. So we're trying to trust our higher wisdom and discernment here and just know what is the right answer, because we've done the math. We've weighed the pros and cons. We've thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. Eventually, we just have to sort of trust in a decision. I think right now this is that card that's saying there is a decision that's going to affect the rest of your life and the lives of other people. That's a heavy responsibility. And it's one that you're not taking lightly. You're taking it very seriously, in fact. And as much thinking as we do, as much of the math as we do, as much calculating and reasoning and debating and analysis that we may put it through, it all comes down to a simple decision, right? At one simple moment where what do you value more? What weighs more heavily on you? What holds more weight in your mind and in your soul, really? And maybe we need a little bit of water energy. Maybe this is something that our intellect is having a hard time deciding on. We need some intuition. We need something, right? Some water or something to help us, because what we see from other people with the Five of Swords is more confusion. Talking to other people isn't helping, because it could be that everybody has a fairly reasonable argument. Okay? I kind of feel like you're the judge here. Yeah. And I feel like all sides of this case have very reasonable arguments. Yeah. That everybody has facts, everybody has data, everybody's got their opinions, and you're taking all the evidence, all the information, all the testimony from everybody, and you're weighing the options. But ultimately, as we see with the Princess of Swords, ultimately we don't know the right answer. As much data as you can collect, you hear all the testimony. We don't know beyond the shadow of a doubt anything. You know, we have to make a decision on what we feel is most likely to be the best answer. And maybe this is about you kind of, finally going to go do the jury duty thing. And we realize that we're not going to know anything for 100% fact. Okay? That we have to think, what is the most reasonable verdict or answer here? Okay? Because we're not going to know. There's no way to be that kind of absolute surety. The Princess of Swords is the position of what we don't want. First of all, we don't want to be in this position. We feel like we're put in a disadvantage. This is a figure that's kind of on their back foot, kind of in this defensive posture, saying, I wish I didn't have to do this. Don't make me do this. So we already feel inconvenienced by it. And then what we need, and what's difficult for us, is to make a decision that we could be wrong about. The Princess of Swords doesn't know all the information. There's no way to know every single possible detail. Beyond the shadow of a doubt, there's no way to really know. So the difficulty for you is making a decision, a life-changing decision, that you could be wrong about which you could be wrong. That's not the easiest thing. Yeah. So in some ways it forces us on the fence, that it almost paralyzes us, because we're not going to make, I feel, we're not going to make a decision that there's a good chance I'm wrong about it. Either way, if I go left or go right, there's a good chance one of those will be the wrong answer. And I don't want to be put in that position, but for whatever reason you are. We need to do the very best that we can. We have to forgive ourselves if we end up to be wrong. We have to first of all let it go. After we make the decision, we cannot let ourselves be tormented by that possibility, like, oh gosh, what if I made the wrong decision? What if I was wrong? What if I shouldn't have done that? We have to not do that at all, because that will destroy us. That will torment us to no end, because we'll never know. We have to trust in our decision. We have to have the confidence that we did the very best that we could. We do what we think is right. And we forgive ourselves of in some ways, we accept the consequences of the choice, but we forgive ourselves. We absolve ourselves of any guilt of those consequences, because I did exactly what I thought I should do in that situation with the information that I had. And that is all we can do. Okay? The Eight of Pentacles is a card of sort of, to me, kind of feels like life's going on. You know, it kind of feels like we're just going to get back to our life, and we're going to continue to do what we think is right for ourselves and our loved ones. And to me, it feels like this is life going on. This is getting back to the routine, getting back to the normal life. Okay? It's kind of saying like, look, you know, tomorrow's another day, the sun's going to rise, things are going to keep going, life's going to go on. And this is an experience that's changing the course of your life. And we just have to roll with it and adapt to it and go forward. You know. Let's look at the mystery card. I'm curious if this is going to be some of that water, maybe the High Priestess, some intuitive energy for you. Maybe this is going to be something like a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles or Cups, or something showing like really, really positive outcome here, rather than the sort of ambiguous 8 of Pentacles, right? Maybe we want something more definitive. Maybe we want to know, is this the right choice or not? You know, if you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. 3 of Pentacles. We don't know if it's the right decision, but we know that it's going to work. Okay? And again, this is kind of a card that is, it's kind of saying that, you know, life is going on. This kind of, in some ways, this kind of represents the situation itself. We see 2 figures approaching a third figure. That third figure seems like they're busy doing something. And these other 2 people are coming by and saying, hey, can you help me with something? And you're like, oh, no. I really don't want to. I don't want to have to. No, I'm not going to choose. I'm not going to I'm not going to be the one to make that decision. So again, it kind of feels to me like that inconvenience factor, you know. But I wonder if this situation is more of a collaboration than we're realizing. I know the weight feels like it's on your shoulders, but I wonder if you have a jury of your peers, you know, around you, if there are others involved here that are helping to make this decision, if we're collaborating in some way. Okay? I kind of feel like this might be later on down the road, you will get a confirmation of the benefit that your decision has given to other people. I don't think you're going to know right away if this was good or not, if this was the right decision or not. Later down the road, you will get that confirmation that you've made the right decision. Okay? So it could be something where you're not going to even know the effects until later. You know? There's just no way to see the results until further down the road. So what we do is we get back to our life, we get back to the day-to-day, life goes on. At some point, you're going to receive a message or a visitation that's going to show you that your decision helped people. You're going to get confirmation down the road that your decision was the right one. Okay? Anyway, very interesting reading. We're going to do an extended reading as well. Because this is a bonus reading, we're just going to go straight into it. But if you want to join the channel and get access to all of the extended readings for all of the zodiac signs, you can click on the link in the corner, and there's also a link down in the video description. New readings for Scorpio usually on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Felt like you kind of needed this bonus reading today, you know. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together. All right. Let's get into it. We're going to do a hexagram from the Jing. We'll do oracle cards and tarot cards. Okay. We're going to leave this stuff here so that we can see how the energy interacts and we can see any details that may come through. Okay. Your hexagram today is hexagram 24. 24 is returning. Right. Returning to the Tao, returning to the way, returning to business as usual. And that, I think, is really, really significant because through all this situation, this feels like it's an interruption, right? As we talked about with these three people. It feels like it's an inconvenience. It's a frustration. It's a heavy burden and responsibility. But at the end, life goes on. Things return to business as usual, right? So hexagram 24, returning. Thunder dwells within the earth, returning. The ancient sovereigns, accordingly, on the winter solstice, shut the pass gates. The traders and travelers did not travel. Rulers did not visit the domains. Returning, success. Departing and arriving with no anxiety. Friends arrive, no mistake. Turning around and returning to the Tao. The seventh day brings renewal. Worthwhile to have a purpose in going. So the seventh day bringing renewal, that to me says that, you know, later on down the road, you will have the confirmation that is really going to kind of unburden you, right? So I think that this is really, really on point. Due to the time, things may be stuck. When things open, you'll be free and friends will come and the cycle will start again. It's a good idea to have a goal in mind. We wait it out in the best available place, our home or sanctuary. Things out of our control are moving along at a pace that may not suit us. We may just need time and more suitable attitudes. The work is recycled, perfected and refined over and over again. Pause before you begin anew. This hexagram describes your situation in terms of something that is re-emerging. It emphasizes that going back to the starting point in order to begin again is the adequate way to handle it, to be in accord with the times you are told to return. This signifies a bad time becoming better. Anyone receiving this hexagram should prepare for a great opportunity. This is about returning to the proper path. So it could be that something has caused us to stray from the work. Okay? This is maybe the rest at the beginning of a cycle or to get back on course, to reattune yourself with the current phase of the work. Okay? An unresolved situation presents itself again. And that, I think, is what's going on here. There's a tranquil subordination of ego to the higher principle. We're accepting the duty and the responsibility. We're rectifying a mistake. Okay? We're disregarding the influence of contrary forces. We are testing our will, and we're getting our act together. Right? So I feel like we're taking care of business, and then we're getting back to business as usual, free of this dilemma, free of the concerns about the consequences, right? We will get confirmation later about the effects, okay? Let's do an angel number as a mystery card. We'll do an oracle of empowerment. There it is, the oak tree of strength. I am strong and capable. I fulfill the responsibilities in my life, right? I do my duty. I am an oak tree of strength, supporting those who are close to me. We don't want to be the one to make the decisions, but we realize that we have to be strong enough to do that. Okay? Strong enough to not crumble under the pressure. And Oracle of the Radiant Sun is concentration. Okay? Well, it makes sense that we hit the snooze button on these inconveniences because we're focused on other things, and we don't want that kind of distraction, you know? I mean, anytime we feel like our life's going great, right? We're getting stuff done, then there's these inconvenient things that pop up, and we've got to attend to them. And well, I think it's better to just get it done and get it out of here and move on. Let's do an Oracle of Creativity. The risk, be aware, or you'll have to beware. Do not deny the risk and hazards that you see. So in other words, the strength card or the lust card is courage. Courage because there is risk. There's the risk that I'm wrong. There's the risk that people will be mad at me. There's the risk that I'll make the wrong decision and things will turn out in a bad way. So we're taking that risk, but we're being bold. We're aware of the risk, and we're just doing the very best that we can because we want to see this through. We want to put an end to this issue, right? Let's do an Oracle of Metatron. Green, the heart healing. Well, there's the first appearance of any kind of water energy, right? The heart healing. And so I feel that for one, it's going to give you a lot of peace to know that you've made a decision. And so that relieves us of that burden. So I feel like we can kind of start to move on from this now that we've done the difficult thing. And now it's just a matter of trying not to worry about what the future is going to be and know that we'll get confirmation. But that heart healing feels like a huge weight's being lifted, you know? Feels like really the lifting of a burden. Now for the Path of the Serpent, we're going to use the Pamela Smith Tarot, as I call it. There's the Three of Pentacles again. Again, it feels like there's this interruption. Somebody is, it feels like people are coming to you and asking you to sort of choose like which one is better or which one is more important or which direction we should go or like, I don't know what exactly it pertains to. It does feel like there's some kind of a financial dispute or something about property, but this definitely shows that kind of interruption where here you are concentrating on your work and you're being interrupted by this other obligation. This is interesting though, the Ten of Cups, right? That idea of satiety, that idea of satisfaction and fulfillment, right? I kind of feel that this is almost a wishful thinking. You know, that we wish that things could be absolutely perfect, and somehow we wish that everybody could get exactly what they want at all times, but we know that in a choice like this, someone's going to have to lose. Someone's going to have to compromise. You know, two people can't both eat the same apple, you know. So we can split it and share it. One person can get it, the other person not going to get it. But there is no absolutely like utopian solution. Okay, and that's something that we're having a difficult time resolving. I want everybody to eat the apples, you know, but we have to make those decisions that we have a certain allotment of things, and some of it has to go in different places, and so somebody somewhere is going to be disappointed. In other words, we can't please all the people all the time, even though we want to, right? There you've got the Five of Swords. I think we understand that once the decision is made, once we've listened to all the arguments, we have to sort of put them away. We have to just kind of close the book and make our mind up, right? And finally we have the Hierophant, which is quite interesting too, because the Hierophant is like, the Hierophant's the one that knows the right answers, right? Doesn't always tell us. And I feel that the Hierophant in that sort of future position is in some ways setting you up for more of this, you know? in a way, I feel like you did such a good job with this that now people are going to come to you and want more of your advice, want more of your decisions, want you to sort of to pass a judgment or make a ruling on other things now. It could be that you find out that you actually have a bit of a knack for this or an interest for this. I don't know if you're going into law or if you have any aspirations toward that, but the Hierophant is this wisdom coming from outside. And so basically what I'm feeling is that as the days go on, as your life sort of continues to move forward, there will come a day where you receive the confirmation, where you receive the news of how your decision played out for everybody, right? And I think that it's going to be very reassuring for you. Let's look at the mystery card. Our angel number over here. 3333, the social skills. Hope, optimism, liberation, success, prosperity, excitement, and enthusiasm. The problem you have today will eventually disappear. Your guardian angels encourage you to maintain a positive outlook on life, since your luck may be about to change. It's time to put your captivating energy and inspirational personality to use. Don't let your ego get the best of you. Okay? In other words, you're going to take this as an opportunity for you to do something new, perhaps, to expand your energies, to gain some experience, to evolve and grow a little bit through this kind of challenging situation. You have to use your social skills or your mental skills, the air energy. You have to use your swords. You have to use your intellectual prowess. So I feel that there are some positive aspects to this, even though right now it just seems like an inconvenience, seems like a burden, seems like more of a curse than a blessing, right? I think eventually you will realize that your efforts here are benefiting a lot of people, okay? You'll see the good that you do, but it's going to be down the road more, all right? Anyway, I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you greatly. I love you deeply. And I hope to see you again very soon.